As is our custom, we would like to start with the college anthem. I request Paul sir.
Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring your love. Where there is injury, your pardon, Lord. And where there's doubt, true faith in you. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there's despair in life, let me bring hope. Where there is darkness, only light. And where there's sadness, ever joy. Oh, Master, grant that I may never see so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love with all my soul. Make me a channel of your peace. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned, in giving of ourselves that we receive, and in dying that we're born to eternal life. Oh, Master, grant that I may never see so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love with all my soul. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring your love. Where there is injury, your pardon, Lord. And where there's doubt, true faith in you.
What is design thinking? At its simplest, it's a way of
So, good afternoon, everyone. Uh, I will introduce you all to today's speakers, Santosh Shapneri and Jovita Sarao. Santosh Shapneri. Mr. Santosh Shapneri completed MS in EC from University of Arizona, USA, and BE in EXTC from University of Mumbai, India. Besides being in academics for 14 plus years, he has also worked in industry for 6 years as software engineer at Patni Computers Limited, India, and Microsoft Corporation, Seattle, USA. Currently, He is an assistant professor at St. Francis Institute of Technology, Mumbai, and submitted a thesis for PhD in music information retrieval with machine learning to the University of Mumbai. His research areas include machine learning and signal processing. He has published 45 plus papers in various journals and conferences and received 175 plus citations to date in leading journals. He is a reviewer for IET Transactions on Image Processing, IET Electronics Letters, IET Communications, IET Signal Processing, IEEE Access Journal, and IEEE Indicon. He has delivered various hands-on workshops, especially on machine learning and deep learning, at various meetups in academia, including NITs, and industries, including Agilent Tech, Ahmedabad. He was an invited speaker for various workshops organized by IEEE India Council and IEEE Bombay Section. He is a frequent speaker for IEEE Bombay Section SCAP lecture series. Jovita Saraf. Jovita ma'am completed her BE in EXTC from St. Francis Institute of Technology and her ME, that is master's degree, with first rank in Mumbai University, focused in antenna design from Sardar Patel Institute of Technology. She has 9 years of experience in academia at institutes including SJCEM and SFIT. Her research areas include antenna design and embedded systems. She is a faculty mentor for Texas Instruments Embedded System Design MOOC courses in association with AICTE. She has several papers published in reputed journals and conferences. She is also a certified career counselor and has delivered several online as well as offline career counseling sessions. She has attempted the GATE exam twice for electronics and telecommunications branch. The first time with her mismanaged study patterns, she barely scraped through the cutoff. But the second time, with a systematic and strategic study pattern, she managed to get an impressive three-digit rank. So, Jovita ma'am, uh, will go ahead with the topic.
Yeah, thank you, Shriram. So can we start? Okay, since we're running this on two different Google Meets, I'll need a whole lot of support from you students who are attending. Please let me know at any point in time if I go on mute on any one meet, okay? Thank you, Shriram, for the wonderful introduction. It's always a pleasure to share our story of losses and successes with you guys because there was no one to tell us what and how to do when we were doing it. Always a honor when our library gets back to us and expects us to speak. It is a huge thing for any SFITN out there. So thank you, Chinmay ma'am. Thank you, Sucheta ma'am, for believing in us that we could go ahead and give the session. So as you heard from Srirang, I gave the GATE exam twice, once when I was just out of B and with a very mismanaged pattern and barely managed to scrape through. And another time when I actually realized what GATE is and how do you study GATE and how different it is from JEE, because JEE was the only competitive exam we all engineers are very well aware of. So before we begin with the graduate aptitude test in engineering, what, how, why, when, about GATE 2022, let me just put out some questions for you. Any idea about the number of institutes that AICT has approved in our country? So you can use the chat box to reply on both of the meets. Give me a rough number of the number of approved engineering institutes you think are there in our country. 1,000, 2,000, 10,000. What do you think is the rough number of institutes we have in our country? You can put up any number. Everyone who's Googling, stop Googling. So Saurav says 1,500 to 2,000 engineering institutes. Srirang says 10,000. Okay. We've got like 100 people attending the session and I've got 4 answers. Okay, more than 5,000, approximate 4,000, 2,000 to 5,000 institutes. This number is quite important for us to figure out why should we give GATE at the first place. More than 5,000, okay. So total institutes that AICT has approved in our country are 10,989, out of which roughly 4,000 are degree engineering institutes. And over 90% of these institutes are private institutes that are run at the state level. So we are not talking about IITs, NITs, IISCs, government institutes. No. 90% of these institutes are like St. Francis Institute of Technology, which are private institutes. Let's go a little bit more deeper. How many students do you think graduate per year with an engineering degree in our country? A rough number of how many students do you think graduate per year with an engineering degree? So we've got 4,000 colleges. So Mervyn says 12 lakh. Anyone else? How many engineers do you think every year? 12 lakh. Sanshil says 11 lakh. 14 lakhs. Okay. So yeah, you guys are very close. We have an approximate 10 lakh engineers graduating per year with an engineering degree. And we're all in the same boat once we graduate. So I graduated 10 years back. You are graduating right now, but we are graduate engineers whenever we graduate. From these 4,000 colleges, a very big number, that is 350 colleges, are in Maharashtra. This is the second highest in our entire country. Now, why GATE examination? Out of these 10 to 12 lakh students who graduate, there were an approximate 9 lakh students who registered for GATE 2021. This does not mean they graduated last year. They could have graduated at any point before that. Because the thing with GATE is there is no end age. This year, when you are applying for GATE, I could also apply for GATE. And we both are at the same level trying to check our knowledge in engineering. Okay. So that's what makes GATE a tad bit difficult. So 9,13,275 students filled the GATE form in 2021. Let's take a wild guess. How many do you think cleared GATE? This is all streams combined, okay? There were 27 streams or 27 papers last year. Out of the 9,13,000, wild guess, how many do you think cleared GATE last year? 10%? So I have one answer saying 10%. Just take a wild guess. Less than 9,000? Okay, then you think GATE is extremely difficult. 1 lakh, Harsh is really close, okay? 1,26,813 students cleared GATE last year out of the 9,13,000 who gave GATE last year. So, not that difficult right now, right? If 1 lakh can clear, I can very well be in those 1 lakh students. Now, let's get back to GATE 2022. Just a little bit of history as to what exactly GATE is. GATE is the Graduate Aptitude Test in Engineering. All of you definitely know that. Okay, it's a standardized computer-based examination. Started off in 1984. It's a 3-hour long exam. Even though today we have a whole lot of IITs in our country, GATE is still conducted by IISC, that is Indian Institute of Science, and 7 Indian Institutes of Technology. In 2021, GATE was conducted by IIT Bombay. For 2022, we have GATE being conducted by IIT Kharagpur. The score that you get is valid for 3 years, unless they change the rules, which change, at least this rule has rarely changed. Your score is valid for 3 years. Exam generally occurs in the month of February. This time we have 8 sessions for the exam over 4 days. So there are quite a few changes that have taken place for GATE 2022, and we're going to talk about all of them. The total number of questions in your GATE examination are 65 questions, single paper, 3 hours, maximum marks are 100 marks. Who is eligible to take the GATE examination? So this is one place where GATE 2022 has made a change. Till last year, only students in the final year or students with a graduate degree were allowed to take the GATE exam, and you had to be in the stream of engineering and architecture. What GATE has done this year is third year students and final year students and everyone else who's graduated can take the GATE exam. This year onwards, GATE is open to anyone who has a 10 plus 2 plus 3 degree. That would mean 10 standard, 12 standard plus 3 years of degree education after that. Due to which what has happened is GATE is now open to all arts, commerce and science students as well. So BCom, BA, BSc, all these students in their final year can also give GATE. Engineering students in their third year or final year can give GATE. Okay, so I told you all it is 7 IITs, that is IIT Bombay, Delhi, Kanpur, Guwahati, Kharagpur, Madras, and Roorkee, who, along with IISc and Ministry of Education, organize the GATE examination. GATE generally is to figure out what is your understanding of various engineering topics. So we'll be getting back to this when we discuss the syllabus for GATE examination. Another big change is from the time when we gave GATE to the time when you are giving GATE. Back when we gave GATE, it was only for Indian students. GATE now is open for international students as well, which includes Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Singapore, Ethiopia, and UAE. The difference in GATE 2022 is students in those countries will have to come down to India to give the exam. GATE will not be organized at any international locations in 2022 due to COVID-19. So now the most important question, why is GATE examination so important, or why should I be the one who's going to give this exam? Okay. General understanding, GATE is used to test the students' knowledge and understanding of whatever they have understood in 4 years of engineering. Since third year students can also give the exam, it surely must have hit you. There are very few fourth year subjects in the GATE syllabus. It's majorly second year and third year of engineering. GATE score reflects the relative performance level of a candidate, and that is what makes GATE all the more important. Okay. This is something that I would like to stress on, that GATE was never as important as it has become in the past 2 years. With the COVID-19 pandemic and with everything going online, you can all have a look at how your GPA has changed. It's a very happy moment, isn't it? Good GPAs, everything is so nice. So now there is another side to that story where a good GPA makes things difficult. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, let's get back to SFIT and let us see how things changed during the pandemic. In May 2019, the cumulative GPA of students, only 60% students scored first class in our college. This is the cumulative percentage from first year to final year. Only 60% students scored a first class. May 2020 final year students. So these are students who gave only one exam during the pandemic. 90% students scored first class. May 2021. This is the exam where students gave 3 semester exams online. 99.56% students scored first class. In engineering, it was first class that made the difference. You know, if I got first class, I am now eligible for placements. I am now eligible for a whole lot of things. I have got a first class in engineering, so my life is set. Things definitely changed over the past 2 years. So I had a lot of students who came back to me and told me, ma'am, first class bhi hai, but distinction bhi hai. So this is something now. So again, May 2019, 23% SFITians got distinction. May 2021, 73% SFITians got distinction. So what exactly has happened? Everyone has a distinction in engineering right now. So when I sit for an interview, when I go out of this college and talk to people, we are all with a distinction engineering degree. So if 10 lakh of us graduate and 7.5 lakh are with distinction, it becomes very difficult for me to put myself at a level where I can compare myself with everyone else, because सबको तो distinction है अभी. This is one of the important reasons why today giving GATE becomes more important than ever before if I want to do something in my future in the engineering field. Getting back to what does GATE exam give me? So before I tell you all what does GATE exam give you, can you guys tell me what gates open to you when you give the GATE exam? What all do you think is available to you when you give the GATE exam? Like I gave JEE because I wanted to do engineering. So the first and most obvious answer which Shreyansh has given me is I'm giving GATE because I want to do masters, which is right. What else? I want to do MTech, which is right. Okay, what else? Is MTech the only reason I would give GATE? So Shreya says PSU jobs, okay. If I want to do a master's in IISc and IIT, okay. So GATE gives you an entrance into all other colleges also. It's not only IISc and IIT. Got get shortlisted for jobs, yes. Better placements also, yes. For PSUs, okay. What else? For MNCs, yes. Government jobs, yes. So you're pretty much sorted, right? You know why we should give GATE. Since I put it on my slides, I'm anyway going to go ahead and tell you why you should give GATE. So benefits of giving the GATE exam: admission to PG programs, you guys have already told me. Some German universities accept GATE. Yes, Shreyansh, German universities accept GATE. There are universities in Singapore that accept GATE. And since UAE, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka and other countries have been included in GATE, there are universities out there which also accept GATE. So you were right, admission to PG programs. You were also right about PSUs. So there are a whole lot of PSUs which accept GATE. A few of the examples out on the slides over there. Now, as I can see, a lot of students from EXTC and electrical are attending the session. So Bharat Electronics, Bharat Heavy Electricals, Power Grid Corporation, all for you guys that accept GATE. Scholarships in ME and MTech. GATE not only gives you admission into ME and MTech or PhD, GATE also gives you scholarship. And this is very important because you are going to give GATE when you are 21, 22. And then you are going to go ahead and do your master's. And you're going to be in a point in life where, if no one else, at least your parents expect you to earn something. So for us back then, when we gave GATE and I got admission into SPIT, we were paid a stipend of 12 to 15,000. So this is something you get every month. So you do get scholarships in ME and MTech. You can go for an integrated PhD. Foreign studies, National University of Singapore, Nanyang Technology University in Singapore, even universities Germany, Dubai do accept GATE. There are fellowship programs which also accept a GATE score. Now coming to the important dates. Since I have to apply for GATE, I need to know all the important dates. Okay. I made this PPT 2 weeks back. Few dates have changed, so we'll do that. Important dates generally for GATE, application starts in the first week of September. This time it's changed a tad bit. It is starting in the last week of August. Application end in the first week of October, admit cards first week of January, GATE exam first week of Feb. This year it is both in the first week and the second week of Feb. And announcement of results in March. This year it's in the third week of March. What's new in GATE 2022? Okay, they have made some rather great changes in GATE 2022. People were waiting for these changes for really long. First change, your eligibility criteria has been relaxed. Why does this help? All the students who I can see here right now who are currently in the third year, this is a great thing for you guys because you are in the third year, you are already studying. When you look at the GATE papers, you will realize that most of this is already from our syllabus, just a little bit different, but from our syllabus. So it's good that you can attempt it in the third year, see where you stand, then attempt it in the fourth year and probably get a better grade. Okay. So that is the advantage of GATE 2022. First big change. After a long time, they've gone back to this. 2 new subjects have been added this year, taking the total to 29. Both the new subjects that have been added are to do with the mechanical stream. Okay. All test papers of GATE 2022 are going to be entirely objective. Pattern of questions could include 3 different types. You can have multiple choice questions. Multiple choice questions would mean only one answer is right. You also have multiple select questions, which could mean more than one answer is correct. And you can have numerical answer type questions, which is kind of a fill in the blank. Okay, similar to what you had in JEE. They just give you a dash, you have to fill in your answer. And I love these questions. The reason being, these are the questions that have no negative marking, so they're good. You can attempt all of them. Okay. One big change in GATE 2022. This has never happened before. In GATE 2022, you can apply for 2 subjects. There is a fixed combination, like if I'm applying for EC, that is electronics and communication, I cannot apply for EC and mechanical, but I can apply for EC and electrical. So I can apply for 2 different papers. It will happen in 2 different time slots. So these are the big changes that GATE has brought about. You can apply for 2 papers, and third-year students can also go for GATE. Now, when you are filling the form for the GATE examination, the form is going to let you enter 2 papers. Okay, so you don't have to fill 2 separate forms for giving 2 papers. On a single form, you have to fill both the subjects. Not everyone would want to give both the subjects. So if you want to give only one subject, you fill only one, and for the next one, you write not applicable. So you don't want to give a second subject. You have a primary and a secondary subject. Primary subject is generally the stream that you belong to. Now, GATE 2022, organized by IIT Kharagpur. It's not 27 papers, it's 29 papers this year. So what I'm going to do is, I'll just share another tab. I'll directly take you to the IIT Kharagpur website so we can see what it looks like, hoping that all of you are going to go ahead and apply for GATE. Can I just have someone confirming on the chat box if you can see the GATE 2022 website?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Yeah, Shriram, thank you. Okay, yeah, guys, thank you. Whether it's a seminar where we give it in person or a seminar that you give online, it's so nice to see known people at least replying back to you. Feels like we're back taking lectures in your classroom. Okay, so this is the GATE 2022 website organized by IIT Kharagpur. The applications open on the 30th of August. So on the 30th of August, if you click this point, apply online, it's going to open the form for you. Very clearly, GATE has mentioned that you are to fill only one form. If you fill multiple forms, they will accept any one form. For 2 subjects also, you'll fill only one application. GATE has also mentioned this year that they will not be giving you any refund for your paid fees. Okay, so please be very careful when you're making your payments. Important dates. Your GATE portal is going to open on the 30th of August. Closing date is the 24th of September. 1st of October is the closing date for the extended time period. So this is something where you can fill in the form before the 24th of September, but you can pay your fees by the 1st of October. इधर एक थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम है कि फीस डिफरेंट है. There is a late fee that you'll have to pay. 26th of October is display of defective applications for rectification. 1st of November is last date of rectification. 12th of November is last date for change of paper, category and exam city with an additional fee. Okay, so these are the dates right up to now. Probably the date on which you'll get your admit card would be in the first week of January. Now, coming to our GATE 2022 papers and syllabus. All of them are available on the GATE website. So these are the 29 papers that we have. The new paper being Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering and Geomatics Engineering. A wonderful thing that GATE has done this year, just click on the subject or on the paper that you want to go for and you can download the syllabus. So no more confusion about going to numerous websites to get the syllabus. just click on the subject that you want to go for and download the syllabus. Okay. So out of the 29 papers, you can definitely give two, but there is a two paper combination. Uh, Amongst all of these papers, engineering sciences, humanities, social sciences, and life sciences have a tad bit extra work that you have to do when you're selecting your subject. From this, you can always get back to us when you have any doubt with this, and we will help you out. Since I don't think many of you all will be going for it, I am not going to go into it further. I'm going to go into this instead. This is the paper combination that you can use. So for everyone who wants to do two papers, I'll just take up one. So say you have taken electrical engineering as your base paper. Say you've taken electrical engineering as your base paper. Your second paper can either be EC or IN. EC stands for electronics and communication. I'm hoping I'm not wrong because I don't remember all the codes. And IN stands for instrumentation. So you can give either of this. Similarly, say I take computer science, then I can give ECGE, MA, or SC. That's electronics and communications, stats, geomatics, and I think MA is maths, but I'm not sure. If you take EC, electronics and communication, you can take IN, PH, E, CS, and G. From this, I'm pretty sure that IN is instrumentation, EE is electrical, and CS is computer science. So these are the combinations that you can use. You'll have to look at these combinations before you start filling in the form. Coming to your centers, GATE is an examination that you will have to go to the center and give your exam. Now, GATE 2022 has clearly stated that the dates for the examination are 6th, 7th, 13th, and 14th of February. As of now, this can change anytime in the near future dependent on the COVID-19 situation. When you are selecting a center, all your centers should belong to the same zone. Since most of us, if in Bombay right now, would fall under the IIT Bombay zone, these are the centers that are open to us. So generally when students come to us, we tell them to select Mumbai, Navi Mumbai, Thane. All of this fall under a single center. So you can select Mumbai, Navi Mumbai, Thane. You can select the next one dependent on where you're staying. So generally we tell students to select Pune and to select Panvel Raigad because these are the closest that could be to you. This time they have included Vasai Palghar. So you could also go for Vasai Palghar dependent on where you stay. Another great thing GATE 2022 has done this year. They have given you question papers of previous years starting from 2007. I'll tell you why this is good. Getting GATE papers is not very difficult. It's available everywhere. Problem is finding the correct answers. So, what has GATE done this year? I have just downloaded a paper for electrical engineering. So, this is the paper of 2021. What GATE has done is they have given you the answer set. They have not given you the solution, but they have given you the answer key. Okay, so this is an amazing thing that you've done. You have the question papers, you have the answer key, and you also have the type of questions. Now, when I look at the electrical engineering paper, there are definitive answers for all the questions, but way back I was just looking at the EC paper, and there were 4 questions last year with MTA written. MTA means marks to all. So, and this was approximately 6 marks, which were given to everybody whoever attempted that question because the question had no definitive answer. So now let's just get back to our PPT. Can everyone see my PPT?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So going ahead from here, if anyone has any questions, please put it on the chat box. We will attend to it at the end of the session. GATE 2022 important dates. All of these have changed very recently. The only thing that has not yet changed is exam is on 6th, 7th, 13th, and 14th. If you are going to apply for 2 papers, most probably it will be on the same day. It will be in session 1 and session 2. Yeah, Shreyansh will get back to your question. GATE 2022 eligibility criteria. This is very important to look at before you start filling in your application forms. So first thing, minimum qualification has changed. It is 10 plus 2 plus 3. So you need to be in the third year. Previously, candidates could apply for only one subject. This year onwards, you can apply for two. We have a lot of students who come to us and ask us for the minimum and maximum age. So we've just added this. There is no minimum and maximum age limit for appearing for GATE exam. It is a minimum education level, which is 10 plus 2 plus 3 this year. It could change next year. Foreign students are allowed to give the examination. This year onwards, it's open to engineering, technology, arts, commerce, BSc, that is science, and post-graduation in all of these disciplines. There is no minimum percentage required to appear for GATE exam. So whatever your GPA, whatever your percentage, everyone is eligible to give the GATE exam as long as you are in the third year right now. All of you can apply. For international students, since everyone's from SFIT, I don't think we need to go for this, but all the rules remain the same. They just need to have proof that they are not applying from India, they're applying from any one of the countries that are allowed, and they're currently in a said course. Coming to how the exam pattern is, it's a 3-hour exam, 180 minutes, total 29 subjects this year, 2 new subjects that have been added, 65 questions, out of which 10 questions are on general aptitude and 55 questions are from engineering maths plus your core subject. So if you select EE, then you'll have 55 questions from engineering maths plus your electrical engineering or electronics and communication or computer science. It's a 100-mark paper. This is the approximate marking what is generally there in the GATE paper. 13 marks of maths, 15 marks of general aptitude, 72 marks of core subject with 3 different types of questions. There was a question on marking scheme. So the marking scheme for GATE exam. Every MCQ that is of 1 mark, you will lose 1/3 mark for every incorrect answer. An unattempted question, you don't lose marks. For an unattempted question, you neither get nor lose marks. Even if it is a mark to all question, you will still not get marks if you didn't attempt it. All MCQs of 2 marks, 2/3 mark will be lost for every incorrect answer. There will be no negative marking for MSQ, so more than one right answer, and numerical type questions. Where there is a blank and you have to fill in the answer, no negative marking for those type of questions. Coming to the exam fees. So these are the exam fees this year. This is the application fee during the period, so before 24th of September. These are the fees between 24th of September to 1st October. Female candidates, any category, 750 rupees. SC, ST, PWD category candidates, 750 rupees. For this, you have to upload your SC, ST, PWD certificate as proof. All other candidates come under general category. 1,500 is the application fee, 2,000 rupees after the extended period. The documents that you will need when you are applying for GATE is either Aadhaar card, PAN card, driver's license. Whatever document you are using to upload when you are filling in your form, the same document you need when you are going to give the exam. Okay. Modification fees. So if you want to change your examination city, change the paper that you're applying for, add an extra paper, by mistake you entered the wrong gender, you want to change the gender, you want to change your category, you want to go from PWD to non-PWD, most of these fees lie in the range of 500 to 750 or 500 plus 750, and there is no refund of any fee. Only refund that you get is for a failed transaction if their server end approves of it. So yeah, I think most of the information about what, how, and why of GATE examination you must have received by now. Going ahead, Santosh sir will go ahead with the different types of questions that generally come in the GATE examination.
Yeah, thank you, Jovita. That was a very good overview you gave on why the GATE is important. So as Jovita ma'am mentioned at the beginning, You can see the statistics that now around more than 90% of the students have got first class. So how will you distinguish yourself from the other candidates, not only from SFIT, but across Mumbai, not only across Mumbai, but across India? Where do you stand in front of so many other graduates who will be completing their degree? So this is the exam that will set you apart based on your GATE score. Joita, can you go to the next slide? Yeah, so you saw that there are various questions asked. The paper is of 100 marks. And typically there will be two sections in the GATE. The first is the general aptitude. And the second section is on the engineering mathematics as well as the core subject of your discipline. And the type of questions that are asked in GATE, they will check these abilities of the candidate. So can the candidate recall the fundamental concepts? Can the candidate comprehend the concepts? Can the candidate apply those concepts to new unseen problems? And also analysis and synthesis. So these are the various type of questions that will be asked to test the candidate's abilities. So it's not only recall. It's not like you rote learn everything and you'll be able to crack GATE. So that will not happen. And recall is not a major percentage of the entire GATE paper. The focus is more towards the comprehension, application, and analysis. Next slide, Joita. So we'll be discussing with you how to score well in GATE. So myself and Joita ma'am both have given the GATE exam, so we have a good experience on how to prepare for the GATE exam. As you saw that more than 1 lakh candidates in the last year could clear GATE exam. So clearing is not difficult because typically the clearing score changes every year, but roughly it is around 25 marks. It is somewhere in the range of 20 to 25 marks. So when can you say that you have cleared GATE? So if you have scored above 25, that means you have cleared GATE. And if you have cleared GATE, then that opens up a lot of opportunities for you, as Joita ma'am also discussed, and most of you answered, that you can also apply for PSU, because for PSU jobs, they only require GATE cleared candidates. They will not be looking for whether you're in the top percentile or not. So clearing GATE is not very difficult because there are a lot of questions on general aptitude, which is simple English and school level mathematics. And the next category, as I told you, is engineering, maths, and the core subjects. And not all questions are difficult. So 25 marks, getting 25 marks out of 50 is not challenging. What is challenging is to score high, especially if you are interested in getting your master's degree admission, if you are aiming for IISc or let's say IIT Bombay or IIT Kanpur, then you will want to get a high score. So we are going to discuss here how would you get, what are the scoring tips? How should you prepare yourself to get a high score? So you should refer to the previous papers. Like Joita ma'am mentioned that on the GATE website, since 2007, all the previous question papers of the previous years are available along with the answer key. So you should refer to those previous papers of your particular discipline and try to analyze the subject pattern. And because the subjects are mostly from your second year and third year, and you are roughly studying 6 subjects in each semester. So 6 into 4, around 24 courses you are learning over this period of 2 years. And we will be looking at the syllabus example for electronics and communication in the next slide. But you should go through the syllabus of your particular discipline and figure out what are the reference books. Figure out the reference books, and instead of learning all the courses in detail, instead of learning all the subjects in detail, what we suggest is you focus on your weakness and try to score well in the subjects which you feel are difficult for you. So that because especially if there are 1 mark questions. The 1 mark questions are typically easier questions compared to 2 mark questions, which are relatively challenging compared to 1 mark. So if you are facing a problem in one particular subject, you can easily score well in 1 mark questions if you focus on that, and you need to practice a lot. Next slide, Joyita ma'am. So we'll just look at the curriculum for the EC paper, which is Electronics and Communication. We are showing you one sample syllabus here. Like this, the syllabus you can obtain from the GATE website. So there are 2 sections, as we mentioned. One is the GA, General Aptitude, and the second is the Maths and the core subjects. So for the GA part, it's basically school level mathematics in the numerical ability, and there is also verbal ability, checking the English usage, like analogies, sentence completion, like which you choose the most appropriate word groups, then critical reasoning. So you might be given a paragraph, and it's like a reading comprehension. You'll be given a paragraph, and then you have to choose which is the most logical conclusion from this paragraph. So things like that, which is basically simple aptitude. And numerical abilities for the school level mathematics. So this part is typically very easy, and this comes to around 13 marks out of 100. Next slide. For the engineering mathematics, this is the syllabus of engineering mathematics, which is mostly common to our disciplines in our college especially. So EC, then computer science, IT, and electrical mechanical. So this would be almost similar syllabus of engineering mathematics, because all the students study to some extent most of these topics. So you have linear algebra, then next is calculus. Calculus would involve derivatives, integration. Then third topic here is differential equations. Then next is vector analysis. Vector analysis would be specific to EC, I believe. Then you have complex analysis, then numerical methods, and the last one is probability statistics. Typically, there are a lot of questions on linear algebra, calculus, and probability statistics, as well as numerical methods. Most of the questions in mathematics revolve around these topics. You will see that when you analyze the paper patterns of the previous question papers. Next slide. Followed by that, you have the subject specific to your stream. So we are showing you the syllabus of EC paper. So then section 2 or subject 2 would be electrical networks, signals and systems, which are clubbed together. Section 3 is electronic devices. Next slide. Section 4 is analog circuits. Section 5 is digital circuits. Section 6 is control systems. Next slide. Section 7 is communications, which would involve both analog as well as digital communication. And section 8 is electromagnetics, which would also include antenna. So there are 8 sections in the core subjects. So we have general aptitude, followed by engineering mathematics, plus 7 sections of the core subjects. So you can see that all of these courses are covered by third year. All of these courses are from your second year and third year, especially the core subjects. So that is why when you are in your third year, as Joyita ma'am mentioned, when you are in your third year, you should attempt the GATE exam. So in February 2022, all the third year students, in February 2022, you should attempt the GATE exam based on whatever you have learned till SEM 5, right? Because at that point, you are still studying SEM 6. So whatever you have learned till SEM 5, you should attempt, because it will be very, very rare that you will get a very high score in SEM 6 itself. But if you have attempted the GATE in Feb 2022 in your third year, then you can figure out what subjects you need to focus on more, and then accordingly prepare for the next 1 year, and then again appear for the GATE exam when you are in your final year, that is in Feb 2023, when you are in SEM 8. So then you will get a good chance to improve your score. because anyways all the curriculum, the syllabus is only till third year. Okay, so by that time you have already studied all the subjects. You just need to go little bit in more depth, and all you need to do is keep on doing a lot of practice. Next slide, Jyothana. Some examples here to highlight the type of questions that are asked. So this is from general aptitude section. So this is the paper of 2016 from EC branch. So question 1 to question 5. So those questions carry 1 mark each, and you can look at the questions. So the first question is MCQ. The second and third question is they are also MCQ type questions. So you can see that these are simple English language. I'm sure if you look at the questions, you will be able to answer. Can anyone answer the question 1? What would you choose for question 1? Yeah, that is correct. The correct answer option is A. Okay. Question 1, correct answer is A. It's very simple. It's the highest peak in the world. Can anyone answer for question 2? Attempt question 2. Question 2. Very good. B. See, it's very simple. As I told you, general aptitude is very easy. It's not difficult. So if you just practice on aptitude, then you can easily get 13 marks, because general aptitude is of 13 marks. Next slide, Jovita. These are some other questions. I believe these are for, yeah, this is also for, this is for 2 marks, I guess. Question 7, question 8. So question 7 is of sort of reading comprehension, where you are given a paragraph at the above, and you have to figure out which are the following inferences are logically valid. So that could be 1 and 2, or 3 and 4, or 3 only, 4 only, like that. So it's a simple reading comprehension type question. And question number 8, so certain people are given and ages are given. So you have to figure out which is the most logical conclusion based on the given information. So again, these are very simple questions. Usually you don't need to spend too much time on this preparation for this, because it's really very easy. Next slide. Now this is for the mathematics questions. So questions 1 to 25 carry 1 mark, and 26 onwards, that those are 2 marks. So these are the questions from engineering mathematics. You can see the first question is from linear algebra. So you are given a 2 cross 2 matrix, and you have to figure out the determinant of A transpose A inverse. Right. So, I mean, I hope all of you know how to do this linear algebra. So you find out A inverse, you take the A transpose, you just multiply those 2 matrices, and then you find the determinant. But of course, as you keep on solving this type of questions, you will figure out what are the shortcut techniques to solve this type of questions, so that you can attempt maximum number of questions in the limited time duration. Second question you can see is for the complex analysis. Third one is for complex analysis. The fourth one, you are given a function, you have to find the area under g of t, which means you would have to do the integral, right? You have to find area under this function, and you are given u of t as a function is given, so you would integrate from 0 to infinity. So simply the integral is asked. So it is not explicitly mentioned integral, but if you know that area under the curve means integration, then that is what you will be solving. So these are all simple 1 mark questions. Next slide. These are 2 mark questions. Again, these questions are from engineering mathematics. So question number 26 is for numerical methods. So you have a Newton-Raphson method, and there is a specific way in which we solve the Newton-Raphson solution. Question 27 is based on probability, and question 28 is based on differential equations. And all of these questions, at some point in your engineering mathematics, maybe in second year or third year, you would have solved. You would have come across this type of questions. So these are not very tough questions. all the questions of engineering mathematics are almost similar to what you have already studied in your second year and third year by now. So it's not very difficult. You just need to put in a little bit of practice in order to get used to this type of questions. Next slide, Joita. We both of us have prepared some tips to help you to understand how to crack the GATE exam. So we have divided this into 3 phases. The phase 1 is planning. How will you prepare for the GATE and what type of textbooks are you going to refer? So first of all, identify standard textbooks for each section. Okay, so typically in your course syllabus provided by the university, there is reference books and textbooks. You should refer to those textbooks while studying the course. Identify strong and weak topics because that will help you in time management. How much time you want to devote to topics which are comfortable for you and how much time you want to devote for topics which are apparently difficult for you. And each one of you will have a different notion of what is strong and what is weak topic for you. Focus on conceptual learning because that is what the GATE exam is testing. The GATE exam is not testing your ability to recall or your ability to rote learn. That is not what the GATE exam is testing. It is more on have you understood the concept? That is what the GATE exam is testing. So whatever topic you are studying, make sure that you understand the concept thoroughly. If you understand the concept thoroughly, then whatever is the question, you will be able to attempt it. So 1 month you should prepare yourself in planning for this. So for each section, for each subject, what are your strong and weak topics? Okay, we are talking about subjects here. So for example, you have engineering mathematics and there are so many topics under engineering mathematics. Then if you look at communications, there are so many topics under the subject of communications. So you don't need to study everything. You don't need to study everything. You first of all identify what topics are easier for you and what topics are tough for you. So that 1 month, that initial planning should be spent on that and also identifying the textbooks. Then phase 2 onwards, you should try to study topic wise and solve the past papers. Always start with the easy topics because that will boost your self-confidence. Like some of the questions that we showed you in the previous slide, I'm sure most of you would be thinking that agar ye question mujhe aaya exam mein, definitely I'll be able to solve because most of the questions are not very difficult. They are moderate. You just need to practice and you'll be able to crack those questions. Start with the easy topics under each subject. Then for each topic, solve questions from the past papers relevant to that topic. So we suggest that you join some test series. There are many GATE coaching classes. We don't recommend you to join the full-fledged GATE coaching, but we do recommend you to join the test series. What is a test series? Test series means they will be only giving you the question paper for each topic. Okay, not just a subject, question paper for each topic. So topic wise, you will be solving the question papers so that you get lot of practice. The point here is to do lot of practice here. And test series will help you to do that. And joining test series is not very expensive compared to joining the full-fledged GATE coaching. So if you join the test series, you will get a good practice on working out type of problems under each topic, and also they will be helping you with the grading for that so that you can analyze which topics need more attention. Most importantly, try to make your own notes. Try to write everything on your own. Okay, because if you have written some concept on your own, then you will be able to remember it and understand it for a longer time. And it will also be useful for you to do the revision in January or February, depending on when are you giving the exam. So that phase 2 should go for about 6 months. Again, you should not try to cover the entire syllabus. because obviously you're seeing the syllabus is quite huge, all subjects and so many topics under each subject. You should not try to study all the topics unless you are aiming for a very high percentile. If your goal is to clear gate, as we told you, clear gate, what is the cutoff? Around 25 marks, approximately 25 marks, but that changes year to year. So some year it could be 24, some year it could be 26. So on an average, 25 marks is the threshold for clearing the gate. So if your goal is to clear the gate, and if you're looking for jobs in PSU and things like that, then you should focus on the topics that you are good at and focus and do a lot of practice on that. Okay, so that way you utilize your phase 2 on focusing on those core subjects that you find comfortable. And phase 3 should be your revision and take full length test. So in phase 2, you do topic wise test. In phase 3, you take the full length test. So like a mock GATE exam, you are taking the mock of the entire syllabus. So that will help you to understand your speed as well as your accuracy, because you have 65 questions to be attempted of 100 marks in 3 hours. And in the first attempt, it's very, very difficult to complete the entire paper. One more thing, you should not try to attempt any question that you are not sure of. Why? Because there is negative marking. You should attempt the question. Attempt means you should enter your choice only if you are sure. Because what will happen is that due to negative marking, let's say you have attempted 50 questions out of 65. Okay, suppose you have attempted 50 questions out of 65, and let's say 40 questions are right and 10 questions are wrong. Okay, if your 40 questions are right, 10 questions are wrong, so even those 10 questions will lead to negative marking. It is possible that your marks will reduce. Okay, so you should attempt only if you are very sure of your answer. Otherwise, you do not attempt, because if you are not very sure, you just put the answer by fluke, then there is very high chance that your fluke answer will be most probably be wrong, and that will lead to negative marking. But yes, there are some questions for which there are no negative marking. For example, MSQ, multiple select questions. So it will be like a multiple options could be right, or fill in the blank type of questions. So there are no negative marking. So you can try. You can put your answers over there, and it doesn't matter whether it is right or not, because there are no negative marking. But at least for MCQ, you should attempt only those questions that you are pretty sure of. Otherwise, your marks can reduce. Next slide, Jovita. These are some of the tips that we have put it here based on our experience of giving GATE exam. Set your goals very clearly. First of all, why do you want to give GATE? What is your career goal after giving GATE? Take a diagnostic test. So maybe by the end of the seminar, maybe probably by tomorrow, just download any one past GATE question paper relevant to your discipline and just have a look at the question paper and see how many topics you are already familiar with and how many questions are completely new to you. So that is a diagnostic test. And try to figure out the pattern of the questions that are asked in the past years. So focus on high written topics. High written topics like, for example, probability pe question aata hi hai every year. In engineering mathematics, every year, probability and statistics, at least 2 questions will be there. So you should make sure that you focus on that topic a lot. There will also be a question on numerical methods. So also you can focus on that, practice more, because those are high written topics. Definitely there will be one question related to that topic in the exam. So that will help you to score well. Make a list of possible shortcuts and tricks. So for solving any question in a limited time, you can't use the lengthy method. As you keep on practicing, as you keep on solving the questions, you should try to figure out, is there any shortcut method for solving that? What are some of the popular tricks? to solve this type of questions. More importantly, strive for efficient time management, because in 3 hour duration, it's very rare that you'll be able to attempt all the questions in that time slot, because especially the 2 mark questions, they will make you think and solve. It will not be very straightforward. So you should try for efficient time management, and this is where the test series will help you. So as you keep on practicing yourself in the limited time duration at home using the test series, so that will help you manage your speed as well as the accuracy. Do not compare yourself with others. Everyone is in a different boat. So if you are good at a particular topic, maybe the other candidate is not good at that topic, which is okay. So you should focus on your strengths and weaknesses. Do not compare yourself with others. And if you're really interested in getting a good score in GATE, we recommend you spend at least 20 hours per week. But this is not something additional that you are doing. You are anyway studying right now. Your main job, what is your main job right now? Is to study. You already studied the second year courses. Those who are in the third year and final year, you have already studied your second year courses. You just have to revise those concepts. And those who are in the third year, you have to just focus properly on learning the current courses. Those who are in the final year, they have to simply revise whatever they have learned in second year and third year. So this spending at least 20 hours per week is not something additional that you have to do. It's just revision of what you have already done, but that should be done in a more systematic manner. So you have to first do some planning on what topics you want to revise and how much time you want to allocate for each topic. You should refer multiple textbooks to understand the concepts, because the type of questions that are asked in GATE will be based on this reference textbooks. If you look at some past questions in the GATE papers, you will find that, okay, ये question तो ये textbook से ही उठाया as it is. So those are the type of questions. If you are familiar with the textbooks में भी end में questions होते हैं, right? So those questions or similar questions are asked in the GATE exam. So if you are used to reading textbooks, then it will help you to crack the questions. Focus more on 2-mark questions, because they will reward you more, isn't it? It's a 2-mark question, but the 2-mark questions will take more time in solving, and especially if it is a 2-mark MCQ question, you should mark your choice only if you are completely sure, because if you are not sure and if you enter your choice, negative marking will be 2/3. So do not attempt if you are not sure. And finally, don't give up, because we have experienced and we know that it is a long process. So as we showed in the previous slide, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, that's around 10 months. So it's not easy to sustain that motivation level for 10 months to 1 year. So if you are planning for Feb 2022, right, so third year students, or maybe the final year students also, if you are planning for Feb 2022, now is a good time to start thinking about it, start the planning phase, and adjust your time slot accordingly. The third year students have an advantage. You have some period to prepare for GATE 2022, but you can also attempt in GATE 2023 when you are in your semester 8. So that is a good amount of preparation that you will get. However, this is a long duration, and it could be easy for you to relax and give up. But you should not give up. So that is why that first step is very important. Set your goals. You should be very clear why you want to give GATE exam. What will you gain by giving the GATE exam? Do you want to go for masters? Are you looking for IISc, IITs? Are you looking for a job in PSUs? What is your goal? And we recommend that everyone who is attending here, all the students should give the GATE exam. We recommend all the students to give the GATE exam. Why? Because especially in this pandemic scenario, every student has got around 9-pointer. Almost every student that we have talked to has got 9-pointer. So then how are you distinguishing yourself from others? GATE is that exam by which, if you put it in your resume that I have got this many marks, this is my all India rank, then that is definitely setting you apart from so many other potential candidates, even from placement perspective. Let's say you are looking for getting placed after your bachelor's degree, you're not thinking of master's immediately. So even if you're looking for campus placement from our college, and if you have given the GATE exam and you have got a decent all India rank, put that in your resume and see that definitely that will help you in getting selected for the college placement also. Next slide, Jovita. We have prepared this list of some reference books. This is specific to EC paper, the EC discipline. These are the textbooks that we recommend you to study, because the questions asked in the GATE exam will be based on the concepts as per this particular textbooks. You should refer to your specific discipline course syllabus as given by the university and figure out the reference textbooks. Next slide, Joita. Yeah, so we will conclude here. So we will say that success is dependent on your effort. So do not give up. We understand that it could be a little bit challenging, but it is not difficult to clear the GATE exam. We'll re-emphasize that point. Clearing the GATE exam is not difficult. Getting a high percentile is challenging, we agree, but clearing the GATE exam is not difficult. And once you have cleared the GATE exam, a lot of good opportunities will open. You can get placement in good organizations. So we'll conclude the presentations here. If there are any questions, we'll be happy to address.
Okay, I
So
think we have, Shriram, will you take the questions and we can answer them probably.
Okay. So there are few questions. First, recent question is from Shreyans Jain. The GATE exam doesn't clash with our IITs or other internal exams. He is asking about that.
Okay, Shriram, so GATE exam is generally on Saturday and Sunday. So it's 6th and 7th of Feb and 13th and 14th of Feb. But just in case it clashes with your IIT, you just write a letter and forward it to your HOD. College will take care of it. That would not be a problem.
The second question is from Sania Khatri. She is asking about, is virtual calci very different than our normal calci which we get in GATE exam?
Most of you have given JEE, I think. The format of you giving GATE and the one where you gave JEE is the same. Just a little tip, if you want to have an experience where you're going to use virtual calci, go for an NPTEL course, give the exam, exact same interface. The UI is the same for NPTEL exam and for GATE exam. It is very different than you using your normal calci. Another thing that you could do is go for an online test where they provide you the same calci. You could get an experience of using it.
Yeah, so if you join test series, then that will help you to practice on the virtual calculator. Once you get used to it, then it is easy.
Cassandra is asking that if we want admission in MTech, what is the average cutoff of colleges?
What is the average cutoff for the GATE exam for colleges?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you will have to go to college websites and check it over there. GATE websites also provide the cutoff for the previous year. So you can go to the GATE website also and check it. So IIT Kharagpur website will give you the cutoff.
Yeah, so typically for MTech, let's say you are looking for IISc or IIT, so they'll consider the All India rank and prepare a merit list based on your GATE score. So cutoff is basically you have to clear the GATE. If you have cleared the GATE, only then you will get an All India rank. If you don't clear the GATE, you don't get an AIR, All India rank. So first of all, you should try to clear the gate. And as we discussed, clearing the gate is not difficult. You clear the gate and get a good All India rank. And now, how good is your All India rank will depend on what was your level of preparation. But typically for IIScs and IITs, they will take the top AIRs. So every college will have a different cutoff for their intake depending on the merit list.
Okay, so Yash Shawan had a question. Can we select the subject for GATE exam other than our domain? Like if one is from mechanical field, but he wants to give exam for computer science or IT field uh, after enough years of gap.
Okay, Yash had the question, right? So, Yash, I'm surprised at the example you took because in the year 2015, the year when I gave GATE, All India Rank 1 went to a mechanical engineer who gave GATE exam for CS field. So, yeah, you can give GATE exam for any field, but then it depends on why you are giving GATE. You cannot be a CS student who gives GATE in mechanical and then expects a job in a PSU for a mechanical standing. For that, you need a degree in mechanical engineering. So, first, you'll have to do enough study about why you are giving GATE. Does that company, does that institute allow me to give GATE in a subject which is not my graduation degree? And then can I go ahead with this? But if you're applying for a job in a non-PSU, say you are an electrical engineer, but you want to do something in CSE, go and give GATE in CSE. And yes, there are a lot of students who clear GATE in subjects that are not from their degree exam.
And there is another question from Tarun. After clearing GATE exam, will we get stipend along with tuition fee or it will be just a stipend?
Okay, so once you clear GATE, just because you clear GATE, you don't get a stipend. You will have to apply for courses. So, say you have applied for MTech, you have to pay your tuition fees, you have to pay the entire fee for the course, and then you get a stipend per month. And yeah, that's how it works. So, it's not that you gave GATE and you are trying to get a job in a PSU and government will give you a stipend. No, it's not like that.
And there is another question in chat box. I think it is answered by Santosh sir.
Yeah, I think Vishal's question is answered.
Yeah, as we discussed, GATE is not only for higher studies. There are a lot of job opportunities. Like I mentioned, like you attempt the GATE exam and you put your All India rank in your resume, and definitely that will put you at a higher edge compared to others, especially when you're going for placement. When you're going for placement, the recruiter will look at your resume, and if the recruiter sees that you have cleared the GATE exam with a decent All India rank, definitely your chances for getting placed will be much higher compared to the other potential recruits, right? So you should attempt GATE exam even if you are not interested for higher studies. Even if you're looking for a job, you should give the GATE exam because right now everybody is getting 9-pointer. So your GATE exam will set you apart.
There is another question from Vishal only. Can you give some examples of organizations which give job on the basis of GATE score?
Okay, so there are a whole lot of PSU, public sector undertakings, that give that you need to clear GATE to be eligible to go there and then give the R exams or interview for a position in those companies. So on the top of my mind, there is ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation. There is SAIL, Steel Authority of India Limited, BHEL, Bharat Heavy Electricals. I think we put a few on the slide
Yeah,
also. So there is
right.
Hindustan Petroleum, there is Indian Oil, there is NTPC, a whole lot of companies. Just Google PSUs and you'll get a list.
Yeah.
There is another question from Roger D'Souza. Are there any other competitive exams we can attempt along with GATE? He's asking.
That depends on what is your plan. What do you want to do after B? Dependent on that, you would decide which competitive exam do you want to give. Is it going to be GATE? Is it going to be GRE? Is it going to be CAT? When I say I'm giving these exams, I have got different things in my mind. If I want to do an MBA, I give CAT. If I want to do something in engineering, get a job in PSU, go for ME, MTech, or any one of these, then I give GATE. But it's preferable not to try and prepare for two different types of exams at the same time.
Okay, so we are clearing the questions actually. There is another one from Sania. How many attempts can we have for GATE exam? More than two, or is it there is no boundary in
There is
finite
no
attempts?
boundary. You can appear every year,
Unlimited.
unlimited. You can
So,
attempt as many times as you want. Every year you'll be attempting once. So you can attempt every year.
there is another question from Titiksha. As MSEB is right now not picking up candidates on GATE score, but if I prepare for GATE, will I be ready to give MSEB entrance exam? And what about the syllabus? Is it same or different?
So MSEB has the same syllabus as EE for GATE. Similarly, ISRO has the same syllabus as EC for GATE. So you just have to check which exam you want to give and which syllabus they are following.
So I think
Yeah, there's one more question. Kabir is asking, how good of a rank is good enough? So again, so all India rank is based on the percentile. So you get your percentile and not a percentage. So because there is relative marking here, so let's say you got, so when I gave the GATE exam in 2015, I got 50 marks out of 100. And the highest marks during that exam was 65. So the topper, All India rank 1, got 65 marks out of 100, and I got 50 marks out of 100, right? So my All India rank was around 450 because there were 449 candidates above me who had scored better than me. So accordingly, I got 99 percentile. Okay, so accordingly, the percentile is there. So all India rank is more important here. And now, how good of a rank is good enough? So that would depend on your goals. Why are you applying for the GATE? So if you are looking to get admission in IISc, for example, then definitely you need to be in the top 100 AIR, all India rank. Otherwise, there is no chance you will get into IISc. But if you are looking for, let's say, IITs, some other IITs, then it's okay if you have a slightly lesser all India rank. And if you are looking for jobs in PSU, then clearing the GATE is the only criteria. They will not have a merit list. Once you have cleared the GATE, that means you are eligible to attend the interview. Then it depends on how you give the interview. Your selection will be based on how you give the interview. But clearing the GATE is required. That's it. There is no all India rank. What is a higher rank? That criteria is not there for jobs, at least for PSUs, as well as for other placement. The rank will matter only if you are looking for master's admission in IISc and top IITs.
So there is another question, yet another question from Vishal. He's asking about the ISRO examination. Will he be able to give ISRO examination after his engineering degree, or will he be able to give it in his course only that he left?
So ISRO examination again is for different levels of jobs at ISRO. As
Yeah.
of last year, when they gave their public statement for the exam, they were allowing graduate engineers for junior scientists and engineers with masters for senior scientists. So you will have to wait for their public notice to come. It's generally in the Times of India that you get these notices.
Yeah.
I think all questions are answered.
Okay. So Yeah, we enjoyed giving this orientation. Hopefully, the audience also learned something about the GATE exam and are motivated to give the GATE exam. We recommend all engineering students to appear for the GATE exam. Whatever is your career goal, you should give the GATE exam, because especially during this pandemic, when so many students are getting 8-pointer and 9-pointer, GATE exam will set you apart. So please try to give the GATE exam, whatever level of preparation you can put. Try to give the GATE exam and put that your score or your All India rank in your resume. You will get a good advantage over others. So thank you everyone for patiently listening, and it was quite interactive. We got many questions and hope you were able to answer those questions.
Yeah, okay. So Vishal just has one more question. Generally, when does the notification come for vacancies in ISRO for scientists and engineers? It generally comes in the first week of June, but there was a delay last year due to the COVID-19 pandemic, because of which even this year's exams have been pushed a little forward. But somewhere in the first week of August, probably it should be out. You can keep checking ISRO's website as well. They put up the notification there also. Same thing with DRDO and DARC. So I think that's it with the questions. It was great connecting with you guys. I think Madhura has put up the Google link for a mock test for uh,
Yeah.
GATE. So what we've done is we've just picked up a few questions from recent papers and put them there so that you can just look at what type of questions do appear in the GATE examination. Uh, I really hope we've motivated you, because this Saturday evening is like, it's one point where we Indians are really motivated. One bronze and one gold in the Olympics today. What more can we
Yeah.
want, isn't it?
Right.
So if you were to ask us, at least once, I think all of you all should attempt the GATE examination.
Yeah.
And all the best.
Yeah. All the best, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for attending the session.
Thank you, Chinmay ma'am, Sucheta ma'am.
Yeah. And thanks to Srirang as well.
Good evening to all of you. Thank you, Jovita ma'am and Santosh sir, for all the wise words and information that you shared with us today. So I request everyone to please turn on their cameras for a group photograph.
Sure.
Okay. So the photo is taken. And the link for the mock quiz is posted in the chat box. So everyone please take up the quiz. And so I'm sure everyone present here will agree that today's session was very insightful and enlightening. As we come close of this webinar on competitive exams with special focus on GATE, on behalf of SFIT NDLI Club, it gives me immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks to this gathering here. My very special thanks to the respected speakers, Ms. Jovita Sarao and Mr. Santosh Chapneri, for taking time from their schedule and sharing the information with us. My heartfelt thanks to our director brother, Jose Tiruthil, Deputy Director, Dr. Vijay Kumar Pereira, for the support, vision, and commitment. I would also like to thank our principal, Dr. Cincy George, for her constant support. Lastly, I thank all the club members and students for your cooperation in making this session successful. Thank you.
Thank you, Madhura.
Thank you so much, Jovita and Santosh.
Yeah. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
Thank you. We are good to leave now.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Happy weekend.
Happy weekend.
Happy weekend.
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
Sucheta
Thank
ma'am.
you, ma'am.
Happy weekend. Thanks to Srirang also. Amazing coordination.
fact.
Yes, thank you, Srirang.